Hello everybody and welcome to a modern video. We're going to be taking a look at a Dono league today, and this is one that's very near and dear to my heart because we are playing my favorite gal over here, Wrenn, and whatever comes after that. And we're going to have all of the Wrenn variants today. We're going to have Wrenn 6, Wrenn 7, and Realm and Realmbreaker. So all of the Wrenns, we're going to be playing Wrenn Tribal. And this is a Dono list by Tabsman. Thank you so much for the Dono. And like, this deck looks really, really sweet. So let's actually start to take a look at what we're going to be doing. So we're obviously playing Wrenn 6. No explanation there. Like, this card is just messed up. But then we have the other Wrenns as well. Realmbreaker, which is one of the new ones from the newest set. And it's a 3 mana for Loyalty Planeswalker. And it fixes your mana, which is nice. And then it has 3 abilities. Some of them are more relevant than others. So the first one is like it turns creatures into lands into the 3/3 creatures, which is decent because that way we can actually protect the Wrenn, particularly from something like a Ragavan or whatever. And the fact that these creatures actually have hexproof is a big deal, right? Like, particularly again, if you're trying to like beat Lightning Bolt deck or whatever, that can be a huge deal. The -2, you mill 3 cards and then you put a permanent card from the mill cards into your hand. So like that one actually digs, which is really nice because we only have like 12 non-permanent cards, I guess 11. So we have a Lightning Bolt, Tribal Flames, and Prismatic Endings as some of our removal, and even 4 Leyline Bindings can be found off of the Wrenn, which is very, very cool. This also puts cards in our graveyard, so we can actually get back with Wrenn and 6. And just some synergy all around, which is very, very nice. And finally, the emblem says you can play stuff from your graveyard, which is also very good because we can do stuff like loop Expedition Map or like start to loop like Surinor and like Soulgrand Lantern, whatever. But obviously we can just play Wrenns or just stuff like that instead. So very, very cool card. We also have like a singleton Wrenn 7. This card, I was excited when I saw it first spoiled back in, I think it was like Midnight Hunt, and it just never did anything in Modern, which is understandable because like the power level is not quite up to par to what Modern is about, but it has some interesting things going on. One thing that this deck has is that it's not playing any creatures at all, like, which allows us to play Kahira, which is kind of cute, right? Like we get the free companion like the control decks do, but that means that when you -3 to get a Tree Folk, which is going to be a big boy for sure because we're playing a lot of lands, but it's actually not... It's not going to be that impactful because like your opponent's going to have a bunch of removal that they have not been able to use on anything. So it's kind of awkward in that sense. But still, like, the +1 actually digs pretty deep and finds a bunch of lands, which is cool. And then, obviously the -8, if we ever get to that point, we're probably going to be winning from there. Yeah. So we are going to have all of the Wrenns. Our interaction, as I was saying, and kind of our endgame as well, is going to be Tribal Flames and Lightning Bolt. We also have Prismatic Ending and Leyline Binding as removal. We do have 4 copies of Ursa Saga, and we have a little Saga package here with Surinor, Soulguard Lantern, Shadow Spear, and Expedition Map. And then the rest of the deck is going to be lands of different kinds. We have all of the, this is our mana producing lands, or we have 10 fetch lands, and then a bunch of fetchables. We have 3 copies of Boseiju, 1 Eiganjo, 1 Arawara, 1 Sokkensen. So we can actually tutor this up with Expedition Map, which is nice. And then obviously they can be recurred with Wrenn 6, which is a fantastic interaction. And finally, a couple of copies of Blast Zone. This is because there's been like a little bit of resurgence in decks like Dead Shadow and stuff like that, and being able to like Blast Zone away your opponent's board can be powerful, particularly against stuff like Hammer and whatnot. One thing that I was interested in, so I was sent a deck list by Tabsman, and then I made some changes to it. Like the original list had stuff like Dread Arrow, which I think is just unplayable, and by having the Dread Arrow, we could not play Kahira. And Kahira seems pretty interesting because, first of all, it's free, but also it makes our Force of Vigors and Endurances in the sideboard that much better because we're always going to have something to pitch for it if we want to. So that's that I thought it was really cool, particularly because we otherwise only have 8 green cards to pitch to those forces and endurances, right? So not particularly great. But one thing that I was considering is like, obviously this deck is prioritizing interaction and I guess like ways to deal with permanents in Tribal Flames, Bolts, and stuff like that. But we're actually not playing anything like, for example, an explorer, right? Like an explorer or an arboreal grazer as a way to actually play to the board, as opposed to, to play like a little bit of a bigger game as opposed to playing a smaller game. If you know what the Sam Black concept, if you're familiar with it, I still want with this approach. I did consider the fact that may be something that maybe we may want to make room for, like particularly Explore seems great for this kind of strategy. So I will keep that in mind for sure. In the sideboard we have some like Blossoming Calms, Force of Vigor, Endurance, as I was saying, and Veil of Summer, just like generically very very powerful cards in this kind of strategy. Engineered Explosives, sort of like a better Blast Zone, but not a land, so obviously we're main decking the Blast Zone instead. Then extra Soulgun Lantern, Pithing Needle, and the 4th copy of Bossage. So pretty interesting deck. We're gonna see how it actually works out. Really interested and excited to give this one a shot, so hopefully we will find something interesting here. So come with me as we explore this realm a little bit, this realm breaker maybe. But if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you for round number 1. Alright, round number 1. This hand has a Saga. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this. This has a Saga, some removal so we don't get run over. I think I like this. So we also have some good mana, which is always a good thing. Let's see what we're up against, and that's definitely gonna, is definitely gonna influence how we're going to go about. That's kind of bad for me. So this is like naturally the kind of deck that we are very disadvantaged again, because we have no way of rushing them. I think I'm gonna go with Indata Triumph, and then we're gonna get a red source with the Windswept Heath. I mean, I have to race, I think, so I'm going to Prismatic Ending the Chromatic Star. Hopefully that does disrupt my opponent a little bit, and I'm just going to play out the Soul Guide Lantern so my constructs are a little bit bigger. We do have to target the Prismatic Ending there, but like, it's a good deal. It's a big deal. If my opponent has the Natty Tron, very likely gonna just lose to that, but kind of is what it is. So we don't have a Steam Vents, and even if we did, we can't get it off of Windswept Heath. So I guess this is just gonna get Stomping Ground, which seems fine. I think I want to get max value from this Saga though, so we're just gonna pass the turn. So like, there's no real use in playing out another Saga there. Okay, so my opponent does have the Natty Tron, which is really bad for me, obviously. We'll see if they minus on the... They do. Okay. So we're going to Stomping Ground here, and we're going to make a construct. We're going to get to... okay, so I think we just play out this Saga. We bolt, Card Liberated, and now we're going to swing for 2. We do have Binding Mana here. This matchup seems heinous, though. I don't think we can realistically win. Like, if they play like a Nugan or something, I imagine they're going to plus kill the construct. Alright. So, Leyline Binding the Ugin there. And obviously, if my opponent has like an Ulamog or whatever, I'm just going to pack it in. Okay, so, opponent at 18. Pretty unlucky that we didn't find Boseiju. Like, Boseiju plus Wrenn is the only way that we can hope to win a matchup like this. Oblivion Stone, that brings back the Leyline, which is terrifying. So there's a construct, I guess. Pass the turn, untap, doesn't do anything. Make another dude. Does opponent play around Pithing Needle? They do. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, the good thing about that is that we're gonna get to draw a card. I'm just gonna get Breeding Pool here, just so we just have maximum colors. I mean, they're gonna get a Ugin back, so I don't really know what I'm trying to achieve here, but so yeah. I don't really know what I'm trying to do. Maybe Blast Zone for X equals 8. I think I'm kind of off of it. Like, I don't think we can really win. So we're just too far behind. Okay, so Tron. We want the 4th Boseiju in place of the Jegantha. And we want some forces. Pithing Needle. Cut the Soul Guide Lantern, make room for Needle that way. And we're kind of hoping to just like Boseiju plus Wrenn. I think that is the way that we're going to win this game if we are to win it. I think I want to cut Bindings, because they are like a little bit of a liability, because my opponent's going to have their own Boseijus and stuff like that. Maybe I should be cutting Prismatic Endings. Yeah, I think I actually like ending a little bit worse than Binding. they're both quite bad. Honestly, the truth of the matter is that they're both quite. Funnily, how if we did have the card that Hammer has been playing, I forget what the name of the card is, Surge of something. If we did have that one, I would consider maybe playing that because it gives our stuff hexproof. But yeah, Blossoming Calm obviously doesn't really do it, right? Like this is specifically for burn. Which, by the way, I would expect burn to be a heinous matchup. Okay, so this hand does have a Boseiju, no Wrenn, but I think I still keep this. We also have a Leyline when we have a Saga as well. So I can go... We got Japanese Garden here. Opponent moves to 6. We're gonna play out the Catacombs and say go. I think if we get Ketria Triumph, we can then get... I don't think that we actually have a way, without playing the Jetmir card, and I don't think we actually have a way to like enable this with only 2 mana. So I think I'm just gonna get, with only 2 lands, I mean. Let's go get Indata Triumph then. And now we're just missing red. Prismatic Ending is good, we get to make this play again. I mean, we're just trading 1 for 1, right? Like, so we do like to just trade 1 for 1 with anything. We don't have white here, so I think I'm just gonna play the fetch so I can get Ketria. And now Ketria should mean that all of our colors are enabled. And now we're gonna probably Boseiju, I think the tower? Without any more information, I think that is the line. And we also do get to play out this Saga. It's bad if we find exactly Wrenn and 6. It is what it is. So draw step, Boseiju. If we do find Wrenn and 6, we're probably still gonna be fine anyway. So we can just, Wrenn, get back Boseiju and just take it from there, right? Opponent gets Source as mine. So they did already have the other tower in hand. That sucks. All right, so we're just gonna get Tron again. Pass the turn. We're gonna get a Saga, and I guess we have to dodge 1 turn because we can then go ahead and get. Ooh, okay, that's no Tron. This is just Karn, Great Creator. Alright, I can beat this. We'll see what they're gonna do here. The Filigree Silex. Sacrifices the Soich null and permanent with mana value equal to number of counters. Oh, okay, so this is just a sweeper for the constructs. Which I guess it's fine. So, just gonna make a dude here anyway. Do I care about playing the Leyline? I don't think so. I think this just uses my mana more efficiently. And now I get to... I guess I'm gonna go get Expedition Map here. Or I can just Peating Needle Filigree Silex. Yeah, okay. So let's just Peating Needle the Filigree Silex. So this allows me to actually start beating down, which is nice. So this kills Karn. And play a tapped land, say go. We still have Leyline Binding here if we want to. Opponent continues not having Tron, which is good. But they have Hayward, which is bad. So they are gonna get to play the Silex here. Oh, yes! They messed up their sequencing. Perfect. So now trigger on the stack. We're gonna Leyline Binding the Filigree Silex anyway. Wow, if they had like done this in the opposite order, they would have just destroyed us, but got him. I mean, I guess I'd probably just go with Sock and Sun here. Speed up the clock. Interesting. So we swing for 6. Yeah, I don't think Ahira is really doing anything. So I'm just gonna play out my land, and I'm just gonna channel. Too bad these are not artifacts. Obviously, again, Oblivion Stone is kind of a disaster, but opponent finishing Tron also kind of a disaster. The nice thing is Ugin doesn't do too much. Currently rated. Okay, that one does do stuff. Okay, so now they take Leyline Binding, Filigree Silex comes off. Now they can actually blow up my board. Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to attack. I'm gonna force the Silex to be popped here. And so I can either stop Tron again, or I can play a Saga. I think I'm going to play a Saga, and I just have to hope that my opponent doesn't have something else going on, and that I drew something good. Pretty rough that we didn't find Wrenn and 6 in all this time. We didn't find any Wrenns, but we probably so the issue is I need to win the game somehow, right? And if I do this and I stop my opponent from Tron, they're just gonna eventually find another Sylvan Scrying or like Ancient Steerings, and I'm just gonna be dead anyway. While this actually allows me to play a little bit to the board. Okay, these I can beat maybe. That one I can't. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. As I was saying, that matchup is like, we either, we needed Wrenn and 6 like 2 turns ago. If we had found Wrenn like 2 turns ago or something, I think we win the game fairly easily, but obviously we didn't. So, see you next round. Here we are for round number 2. I don't think this hand is really doing anything. Like, it's okay, but like it just doesn't get any traction, which I'm a little bit worried by. So I'm just gonna ship it. Okay, I have not been seeing too many of these Planeswalkers, have I? Okay, this is fine though. So I'm probably gonna bottom one of these Lightning Bolts because my lands do stuff. Arid Mesa, that probably punishes me for my decision. We're gonna see a Goblin Guide here or something. Really wishing I had kept that Lightning Bolt. I mean, our deck is 33 lands, so Goblin Guide should help us. All right, thanks, Gobbo. Thank you for undoing my mulligan. All right, so we are cooking. Obviously, I can't take another hit, so the only way that I have of not fetch shocking is if I play out the Socken Sun here, which is kind of unfortunate because I just have to do that though. It's kind of unlucky because this would be like a way to actually put something on the board, but then we can go fetch a forest and we can go fetch. Second Goblin Guide is very scary. I can get behind the Mist Land Drop though. All right, that's 1 trigger. That is 2 triggers. Soul Guide Lantern. Awful thing to reveal. Mist Land Drop is serviceable though, so I guess I'm just gonna fetch. Go find Wrenn and 6. Go play Wrenn and 6. This is not looking great though. This is most certainly not looking great. Because also, notably, Wrenn and Realmbreaker doesn't actually untap the land. I think that if it untapped the land, it would be seeing a lot more play than it actually is. But the fact that it just turns a land into a creature, but it doesn't actually untap it. So, makes things a little bit awkward. Opponent correctly Lava Spike in my face instead of wasting damage on the Wrenn and 6, because like this card is just not gonna matter. Right, another Windswept Heath found, and then a Verdant Catacombs. Ugh, that sucks. Yeah, I don't think I have really any shot at winning this game, but I mean, I'm gonna give it my best shot, I guess. Here's a Wrenn, and I'm going to like +3 on this land or whatever, and then I'm going to return a land so that I can discard it for value. If I had had another Wrenn and 6, I would have minused both just to kill this stupid Goblin Guide. Which is really sad, honestly. It's actually very sad that I would have done that. Oh, no attacks? Oh, I love that. I absolutely love no attacks. Okay, cool. So I definitely want to plus here again, just so I can block. The question is, what do I do? I think I can cycle Triumph here. And it's nice that I don't have to fetch anymore because this just fixes my mana. Tribal Flames, okay. So, plus on the land, plus on Triumph. And now we're gonna go to discard. Discarding, I guess, Verdant Catacombs. I'm just gonna discard Windswept Heath. My opponent just saw that, so. Alright, Lava Spike face. Opponent continues to miss land drops, giving me a little bit of a hope. So I think I want to just Wrenn and 7, because I can just kill my opponent with Tribal Flames next turn, potentially. Oh no, because I don't actually have the color requirements. I still do think I want to Wrenn and 7 and just minus on a land. Minus to get a 5/5, I mean. Here's a Folk, and +1 on this one. And pass the turn. So I can swing. I have, how much? 8 damage on board. And then I can fetch to Tribal Flames Goblin Guide. Okay, that's scary. Maybe they'll attack one of the Wrenns so I don't ult or something. I just go face. Probably the better line, honestly. Sacred Foundry and Blast Zone. Okay, so block there. Down to 4. And now we untap. Can I win? I think because of 1 I can't win. Oh, I can 0 Wrenn. If I 0 Wrenn, that gives me white. Oh, this puts the lands on the battlefield tab. That's brutal. So let's say I play Sacred Foundry. Play Sacred Foundry. Oh no! Oh, my lands tap for red because of Wrenn. Man, this is great. Like we have the Wrenn, the whole squad over here, and this actually works. Okay. So I actually need to think about this. So the only source that I don't have is black. So if I fetch and I go get black, I can 0 Wrenn and 7. 0 Wrenn and 7. Play this and this. Play both of these lands. Then play the Blast Zone. Then ultimate Wrenn and 6. And just Tribal Flames my opponent 3 times. I think that works. So let's go land. Then 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because I can just do it for 4. So that's 12 plus 6. Oh, this gonna be. Oh, this gross? Oh my god. I thought that like the power was fixed, but it isn't. Oh my god, this is so much better. Alright, so 0. We need to save Tribal Flames and 2 more lands. So I guess we're just gonna play everything else. Put any number of land cards from your hand into the battlefield tapped. We're going to do that. We're not gonna take damage. And now we're just gonna Tribal Flame face. Red and 1. That is 4. Then Ultimate Wrenn. Tribal Flames face. Red and 1. Discard Boseiju. Alright, that was really hot. Obviously my opponent got stuck on 1 land, right? So obviously that helped. But that kind of random kill out of nowhere was really exciting. I enjoy that a lot. I don't think that things are gonna be going as well in the other Saturday games, but you know, we can hope. So Blossoming Calm, great. Otawara, not super stoked about it. Engineered Explosives, decent potentially. Suranor, very good. Shadow Spear, also very good, of course. I think I just cut the Soul Guide Lantern and just submit this. Engineered Explosives is kind of tempting, but I think it's going to be worse than Prismatic Ending and Leyline Binding. It's close, but I think I like the other cards better. Opponent did miss 1 attack in that game. It didn't end up mattering though. Funny how we won that game because of all the mana fixing that Wrenn and Realm Breaker actually gave me. So that was cool. Okay, so we got a Shadow Spear, but we don't have any way to make dudes. We have Boseiju Wrenn, but unlucky to have time, and probably not gonna have enough time to get that going. Also, we have no interaction on turn 1. I guess I'm gonna keep this anyway. Like, what am I hoping for, right? Like a hand with Blossoming Calm, I guess. But this hand at least allows me to go Sacred Foundry turn 1, turn 2, fetch for a basic, and like go from there. Okay, Lava Spike is good because I can safely just not shock here. Another Tribal Flames. If they play an Eidolon or something, I can even just Boseiju it. Would give my opponent a land, but it means I don't have to take damage. Ref Bolt suspended. Prismatic End. So I'm just gonna play Wrenn and Plus off of a basic forest. But yeah, I kind of need to find that Blossoming Calm though. Ursa Saga would be probably my best draw because I can start like suiting up Construct with the Shadow Spear. There's also, I guess technically I could also draw a Suran Orb. I would accept the Suran Orb. Opponent plays a land and fetches, which is interesting. What could they have for 3? Please play an Eidolon or something like that. That would be awesome. Helix Face. Okay. And Bolt Face, just main face. Just main face Bolt you. Okay. That's a Saga. That is a Saga. That's a good draw. Now what? I think I just play out Shadow Spear here. Because I'm going to be making constructs instead of doing Kahira things. So I think we just play this out. I could Boseiju to blow up the Vantage. And then just get it back with Wrenn. My stuff is sorcery speed anyway. So it's not like I'm going to be doing too much in that axis. Yeah, I think I'm just going to plus. Just plus and do nothing. Fetch land. Okay. That means I'm not dead this turn at least. Okay. Another Tribal Flames. Okay. So I think I'm just going to play out Stomping Ground tapped. Because I really don't want to take damage from... Really don't want to take the 1 point of damage this turn. I can take the damage next turn, but not this turn, I think. Because I am forcing my opponent to have exactly Bolt plus Boros Charm this way, while otherwise my opponent can just have, you know, any 2-3 damage burn spells off the top that just kill me. Alright, opponent 2 cards in hand, and they just pass the turn back. So I'm gonna make a dude on end step, and then untap. Definitely make another dude. So now, dudes are decently sized, and we're gonna get Sewer and Orb here. If they have a bolt, they have to bolt now, my construct. Which probably means that we win the game, right? If they have something like Smash the Smithereens, though, obviously that's real. Alright, so this is obviously a huge win for us. So now we're just gonna go get Sewer and Orb. Wrenn is gonna start doing Wrenn things here. And we're gonna play Saga again. And I guess I'm just gonna use my mana to like suit up this construct with Shadow Spear. And now, even if they do find the thing, like if they do find the Smash to Smithereens, I have 2 like life gain artifacts going on. So I think we should be good here. Yep, opponent just packs it in. Sweet! 1-1. Beating Burn, honestly, is kind of surprising. So, cool. I mean, obviously we kind of got lucky in game 1. But, I mean, that's why you play the matches, right? We definitely had a sound game plan for game number 2, for sure. Round number 3. This hand doesn't do too much. Let's ship it. It does have a Saga, though, which makes it a little bit more tempting. But this hand looks good, though. So I think I'm going to bottom the Blood Crypt. And we're gonna be good to go here. We can go turn 1 Sacred Foundry or get a forest or something. Depends on what my opponent does. Like hopefully they do something that I can ending. That'd be great. It's not something that I want to ending. So I guess I'm not gonna. But I think I'm gonna go with Windswept Heath here. Play Heath and I'm just going to fetch. We are playing against Hammer most likely. And we can go get, oh, is this humans instead? Okay. Okay, so this is going to be interesting, right? Like this gives me a couple of options. I think I'm just going to Prismatic Ending and kill the Esper Sentinel. Alternatively, I can just like play Wrenn and kill the Noble Hierarch. Interesting. Well, definitely want to fetch here, and I think I want to. Guess I'm probably gonna Wrenn and just kill the Esper Sentinel. The big question is what am I getting with my Triumph? Which Triumph I'm getting? So I can get Ketria, I can get Indata. I think I'm getting Indata. This gets the black into play. Yeah, so this is going to be like 4 colors. I'm just missing blue. Let's play Foundry. I guess I'm killing the Hierarch actually. Green, red. Opponent's going to get to draw a card here, which obviously sucks, but it is the most mana efficient play. And my opponent can find like one of the buff creatures, but I guess another Hierarch would be a problem, but like another Hierarch just kills my Wrenn regardless, so not really too much to do there. If my opponent just swings for 1 and attacks Wrenn, I think I'm probably just cashing it in. But yeah, second Hierarch or Thalia's Lieutenant would be bad for me. This is good though, I can work with this. In fact, this gives me the option, right? Like, I can just keep plussing the Wrenn if I want to. Oh, okay. Zero excite target player's graveyard, and you sack it, and humans get Hexproof and indestructible. Okay, that's a card. That's a card. Am I just cashing the Wrenn in? I think I am. Just cashing in the Sentinel. Opponent can sack this, I guess, but they're not gonna, most likely. Okay, cool. So now we're just Prismatic Ending this creature here. I'm just gonna play out a fetch land. So Wrenn was actually just a 2-for-2 because my opponent got to draw a card from the Esper Sentinel. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Nothing to flash in of Vile is good. So now I can go find Ketria here. Noble Heart. That is fine. So my best draw would be another Wrenn and 6. Ursa Saga would also be quite good. I don't think I'm playing around something like Magus of the Moon game 1. I'm probably going to be playing around it game 2, but game 1 it just doesn't really make sense. Alright, let's see what they have over here. Upkeep Thalia. I don't think that really does anything, so it's just fine. So I guess I'm just going to bold this Thalia. And I think I want to bold the Thalia main phase. I think my opponent's just going to cycle Clearing here. And I can just bold now. And I can either get the Noble Hierarch or not. Like, the reason to bold there is because my opponent can have another Girina Dauntless General. So I don't want to mess with that. And now it's a question of whether I want to Boseiju this thing. I mean, I don't think I want to Binding the Hierarch. Like, that part is clear. I think I'm just going to Boseiju the Vile. Just to limit what my opponent can and can't do. Particularly in terms of color requirements. Although I guess Boseiju is probably going to fix their... Oh, no. It doesn't fix... Alright, good to know. Good to know that they don't have any like black duels, for example, something like that. They do have another land, so I guess that angle is not going to be particularly useful, but still, good to know. Okay, Wrenn and 6 off the top, baby. Come on, Wrenn. Socken Sun. So I can just like surprise ambush this. I think I'm just going to put Kahira in hand and pass it back. I could play out a land. I don't think that matters. Copper Code Vanguard. Okay, so now dudes have +1/+0. Okay, the ward is kind of annoying. Still don't know if I want to do something here. Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, I'm just gonna play out the Kahira. If we want to, we can like block this thing. But I think I'm interested in having my opponent attack and then just surprise blow them out. Reflector Mage. It's kind of annoying. So I'm gonna wait till attacks. I'm assuming my opponent's gonna attack with just this. Like, okay, I mean that's effectively the same. So I just leyline this. Cool, here we're taking nothing. So take no damage, fetch. I think I'm just gonna get Blood Crypt here. I kind of want another red source. I'm already good with green sources. Can't Kahira. Wrenn? Land is not great. So I'm gonna be able to Socken Sun, and I guess I can gain 3 life. Which is not ideal, but kind of is what it is. Meddling Mage. Okay, you got it. I imagine they're gonna name Wrenn and 6. Fury. Cards not in our deck. Joke's on you. I think we'll just take the chomp here. And I think I'm just gonna fetch. They cycle the land. Fetch. I'm probably gonna need mana. So Wrenn and 6 would be great. Ursa Saga would be great. That's a Wrenn. Cool. So now we just plus on Socken Sun and we just start drawing a bunch of cards, right? We just start having a bunch of blockers. I also get to play out this Boseiju if I want to. I think this is fine. So we just block a bunch now. It's possible my opponent's deck's got Mantis, right? That would be pretty bad for me, but not much I can do about that. I can at some point potentially start messing with their mana. Okay, so they just attack with Reflector Mage, which is the only attack that they have, so that's kind of how that goes. Wrenn and 6 is a hell of a card. I can start messing them up with Boseiju and stuff, which is kind of hilarious. And Wrenn can actually kill the Hierarchs. So we're gonna get 2 spirits here. Untap. Lightning Bolt is not bad at all. So plus Socken Sun again. Just gonna play this out. The Guardian of Orphans is in the house. Because Kahira is legendary, we can actually still channel Socken Sun here, which is nice. We can also just Bolt plus Boseiju, but I'm saving the Bolt for specifically Mantis Rider. I think that's the only card that I care about here. So there's Reflector Mage on the Kahira, meaning that I have to Socken Sun right now, which is kind of awkward, but because it taps me out and I can't. Like, my opponent still has Mantis Rider mana here. I guess I could have also just not Socken Sun there and just like Boseiju. That would have also been fine. Deputy of Detention would be a problem if that's a card that they have in their deck. How funny is that these 2 of the Spirit tokens are like not full art, but these ones are. But I legitimately used exactly the same land for them. How funny is that? I wonder why that would happen. That's hilarious. All right, 3 mana. Imperial Recruiter. Let's see what they have. Another one of these. Wow. My opponent could have really blown me out there. Good thing that they didn't. Socken Sun. So if I play Wrenn, I can make a land into a 3/3. But if I play Rain, I can't actually Socken Sun, which is a little bit awkward. I think it's fine though. Like, I want to start plussing. Plus on the Seiko. So my opponent can't really go wide here. Oh, I guess what I could have done is I could have just Boseiju twice. But the problem is if I Boseiju twice, then it's kind of awkward that my opponent gets to get rid of my Boseijus. So probably not the right play there. Another Meddling Mage. I assume they're going to name Kahira. But now we have perfect information. Okay, Jirina comes down, making things a little bit awkward. So now that gets exiled. And now on end step, I'm just going to Boseiju their Cavern. And we're going to see what they get. They get nothing. So now I can just plus get back Boseiju again. Would love to draw a Saga or something like that that can actually... I guess that one plays. So I blow up all the ones that kills both noble hierarchs. Don't mind if I do. So this kills both noble hierarchs. Actually, let's think about this. So I can plus on Boseiju. I can have a 3/3 in play. Yeah, I think I just keep on doing this thing where I just make a 3/3 and I just mess up with their stuff. So I'm just gonna continue blocking. Plus, I guess, Foundry again. We do have a Bolt if we need it. Here we can Blast Zone or we can Bolt. So they cycle Clearing. That is a really good draw for them. That is an outstandingly good draw. Outstandingly. Wonder if they just right click attack everything. They do. Okay. So if I pop Blast Zone, I kill both of these, then chomp, free block, I bolt. Alternatively, I can just Sock and Sun, give me some blockers. Man, this giving them Undestructible is kind of a big deal. Maybe I should have just bolted that last turn. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Sock and Sun here. I'm just going to do some chomping. Block there, block. And I think I just have to bolt here. Which is unfortunate because it means that the recruiter's not gonna die, but man, that Lieutenant top deck was pretty big. So what do I need now? Wrenn and 7 makes a big one, but does that even matter at this point? 1, 2, 3. I'm at 6, 7. Now I plus on a forest, and I can ping here. We block 2 things. Block. We take 3, 6. Yeah, we take way more than lethal. Man, that sucks. Kind of punished by not bolting there when I had the chance. I don't think it would have changed that much though. So anyway, so sideboard. Boseiju seems kind of medium. All my removal seems great. I'm even adding more removal. We can cut 1 Soul Guide, and I think I probably have to respect the Magus. Can just cut Odawara probably. There's an argument for just cutting another Boseiju, but like the green mana, the fact that it taps for green makes it more exciting to me. I'm gonna keep this. So we're gonna get Katria Triumph on turn 1. Double explosives is quite exciting as per Sentinel. So let's get Indata Triumph past the turn. Not a bad draw. I think I just bolt the Sentinel here and just pay the 1. Wrenn and 6 would have been my best draw there. Please don't name Engineer Explosives. Okay, Lavinia is fine. Can probably beat the Lavinia. Land's not bad. I think we just play Blast Zone and just put Kahira in hand. Like I can just X equals 2 the explosives anyway, so I don't want to like destroy my own land when I have a Wrenn and 7 in hand. Please play more 2-drops, opponent. Please and thank you. That's cool. So I think we just explosives for 2. EE for 2. Just call it a day. Tribal Flag. Huh, is it better to EE for 2 or is it better to just kill the champion? I think it's better to just black and red. Definitely want to fetch now to not get blown out by something stupid, like Wear Tear or whatever. Opponent correctly doesn't do anything here. I can't just take 4 damage for no reason, so just gonna crack it now. Take my 2 for 1. Land would be great. I probably have to play around Reflector Mage. It's a good draw. It's a real good draw. So I can't do this now. I mean, I guess technically I can like Wrenn and then minus on Thalia. I can also spend 3 mana to Tribal Flames this. That's probably the play. And I guess I might as well play these Shadows. Oh, I can't play the Shadow Spear, never mind. I could play Explosives on 1 preemptively. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have just played Explosives on 1 there. Probably not. Copper Code Vanguard. Okay, so EE number 2 is probably going to do some work here. Unless they have Meddling Mage. Yeah, this is great. So we take 4 down to 6, but now we're just going to get to Explosives for crack it. Still waiting for what's his name? For Ursa Saga. Ursa Saga waiting room. So this is probably going to be a recruiter, which is fine. So now I can go Torak. Opponent's got Torak. It's not a bad draw. Here's a Wrenn. And we're going to plus on a Foothills. Play it out. And what do? We just bolt, save bolt for Torak? Probably. So I'm going to play out Shadow Spear, I guess. Send the turn back. So even after these Torak, we're still fine here. So that comes into play. Fetch 4, Stomping Ground. I guess Blood Crypt's better. No, actually more green is good. We already have a black mana, so just bolt there. Torak resolves. Just left with Kahira. But now we just minus Wrenn. We go down to 2. So now we minus Wrenn, we kill the Recruiter. Play out Kahira, suit up with Shadow Speed. And my opponent needs an answer to this Kahira now, which is a funny thing to say. Again, Mantis Rider off the top is lethal, but only this turn. Because if this just connects, they somehow kept Reflector Mage against my deck without creatures. So last card, that's a good draw. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we are cooking. So Tribal Flames that, plus on a land, say go. I'm probably gonna put this Blast Zone on 2, because any 1-drop I can just kill with Wrenn. Yep, we're doing that. This card is kind of annoying. It kind of does things. It kind of does some stuff on some things. Not sure that, you know, Humans is tier 1 or anything like that, but Saga number 2 is not terrible. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play another Saga, just plus Wrenn on nothing, and I'm just going to play out Kahira and hold up Saga activation or Blast Zone activation. I could also suit up Shadow Spear on the Kahira, but I'm dead to Mantis Rider regardless, and spending this turn to like actually suit up the Blast Zone, bring it up to 3, means that I don't die to Mantis Rider anymore, which is good. Reflector Mage, feeling very smart. Feeling very smart right about now. Yeah, so we're gonna have to trade Saga for this, but that's fine. I guess it's better to just connect with Shadow Spear. So this is, I think, just making the construct is better, because I just get to connect with a big construct, and like at that point, Mantis Rider just doesn't do anything anymore. So let's make a dude. We're gonna find Surin Orb. We're going to plus Wrenn on Saga. This is just garbage time now. We have successfully entered garbage time. Only way I lose this game is I just go on all in on this Saga and just Deputy of Detention. So wait, what the hell is this block? This tramples. You're not gonna prevent the life gain. Send it back. Also, I have a Surin Orb in play, so it just doesn't matter. All right, cool. Game number 3. I don't think I want to change anything. I didn't see anything that would make me want to change stuff. Bossages seems not great. Maybe Peeling Needle as a tutorable answer from Saga to Aether Vial. This is fine. I'm honestly surprised that we lost game 1. Like, our deck is kind of mono removal. Okay, it sounds cool. We don't have anything to fetch with the Wrenn, which is kind of awkward, but we have fine mana, not great, but decent mana. Turn 1 Hierarch. Can we find Sacred Foundry off the top? Or Fetch Land? Fetch Land would be perfect. No Sacred Foundry. Very unlucky. Gonna send the turn back here. We're gonna see what my opponent does with their next turn. Champion of the Parish into Jirina. Okay. White Source would be great. Not a White Source. Okay, so what are my options? If I play a Saga now, that means I get to activate it next turn. Opponent's down to 3 cards. I think I want to Saga instead of Wrenn. There's the possibility of Wrenn minus on Hierarch and just like basically throw away the Wrenn. But I think this is better. Ugh. It's a big champion. I imagine it's gonna be Melee Mage on Engineered Explosives. On Wrenn at 6. Really? So like if I go bold here into EE, I just win the game. I don't think that's a good name with Melee Mage there. Like, my opponent's not losing to Wrenn at 6, they're losing to Engineered Explosives. White Source, please? Well, there you go. There you go. So now what I want to do is I have to send it back, and I have to trade, I have to dodge Lieutenant, cannot beat Lieutenant, and I have to make it 2-2, have my opponent attack with Jirina, block and trade. Please don't be Lieutenant. Okay. I guess we lose. I guess we are losing. That'll do. That will do. So this is 6, 10, 16. So this is a forced chomp on the 6/6. I guess if opponent misclicks, maybe I have a shot. But no, I don't. Man, that was kind of brutal. Like if I had found a White Source at any point, I would have been able to like Prismatic Ending alongside my curve. Pretty rough. I mean, I'm technically not dead, but I mean, I'm banking on my opponent misclicking, so I wouldn't call that to be in particularly great shape. I'm also like throwing away the expedition map. All right. I lost. That was kind of brutal. A little bit unlucky there, but yeah, that was a match. All right, round number 4. Let's see what we're up against. Jegantha. This hand looks great. I guess great is probably like a little bit of an overstatement. This hand looks good. We're missing in a fetch land. If we find a fetch land, we're gonna be cooking. That's a monkey. That's not a fetch land. So, okay, try him and go. I'm assuming that this is Breach, because it can't be Murktide, because they have Jegantha, but... Alright, just exile a random land, okay? Like, most of my deck is lands right now, so just don't exile a Wrenn and 6 or something like that. Tribal Flame. That's what my opponent says, huh? So I'm gonna have to trade this Wrenn for this monkey, I think. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Another Prismatic Hand. Yeah, this mana has been kind of punishing. So we're gonna trade there, and we're falling behind. We're falling behind here, that's for sure. We are falling pretty behind. Another Shredder, and still no white source. So DRC is a 3/3. If I draw a white source, I can kill DRC and kill one of the Shredders. Man, like still no source. It sucks. So let's main phase bolt the DRC, play a Saga, and I guess I have to actually enable these. Nah, I guess I don't have to. Just pass the turn. Next turn, I guess I can just make a construct and play the Shadow Spear. So I guess my goal is to raise them with a Shadow Spear, the construct. That's the game plan. These Shredders are getting out of hand though. I may have to just Otawara bounce one of them. I guess they're 2/4s, like it's not that bad just yet. Discarding Unholy Heat basically tells me that they have another one. Can't find anything, huh? Can't find anything. Also drew the Suran Orb. I think I can't play the Suran Orb. I think I just have to dodge here. Heat kills my construct. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna concede to the Breach. Just gonna move on to the next game. Like that game was just non-functional, unfortunately. We do have some good cyber cards here, though. We do have some pretty good cyber cards. This mana base has been punishing, to say the least. This mana base has been super punishing. So maybe this Otawara just can't be in the deck. We have to just find more fetchables and stuff. I'm gonna cut 2 Tribal Flames because they don't answer. What's his name? They don't answer Monkey. I think Wrenn and 7 is probably okay. Opponent may have Dress Down though. Like Dress Down is kind of beating. Like Dress Down kills both the Sagas and the Wrenn and 7 token. I just cut 1 Realm Breaker and maybe 1 Explosives. Another Tribal Flames. Maybe I should be cutting a land, but I don't think so. What do we got here? That's Jegantha Triumph. Yeah, this is okay. Maybe I should have brought in the last Boseiju, like Boseiju number 4. So let's play a Triumph, say go. If only I had found the fetch land at any point in the previous game. Maybe we would have had a different match. Opponent's bubbling over there. Please don't be a monkey. I don't care too much about DRC, but monkey's just... Alright, fetch land so I can binding this thing. Dude, this sucks so much, man. I hate this card. So let's play Boseiju there. We can't binding. So I think I'm just going to Soul Guide. I'm just going to play Explosives for 1. Just playing it out is kind of not great in a way, but at the same time, it like prevents my opponent from like playing a DRC. Sure, they can get value from Monkey, but next turn I get to cycle this and pop if I need to. That's a Shredder. Ugh. Pass the turn. I think I'm going to risk it here. Let's just go from the Endurance. My opponent could have Counterspell. I guess they can't have Counterspell. They could have something like Mana Leak, maybe something like that. But now I'm gonna block the Monkey anyway, even though I do get to block the Shredder if I wanted to. But if my opponent double spells, then I just get blown out. So this is just fine here. We still have the Explosives in play, which is nice. We can binding the Shredder. We have an answer on board to the Breach. They put Jegantha in hand, cracking the Treasure. That's good for me. It's a good draw. Alright, so now we're starting to look a little bit better. So I can get Kitria Triumph, and that makes binding into 1 mana. Let's play a fetch. And I think I'm doing that. Let's get Kitria Triumph, and I'm just going to binding right now. I'm probably gonna crack this Soul Guide, I think, just to draw a card. It means I'm... Okay, that's fine. Prismatic Ending is a card, I guess. Funnily enough, we can pending for... we can actually Prismatic Ending for a bunch here. I think I'm gonna minus this Wrenn and Realm Breaker. Although I guess my opponent doesn't actually have Delirium, so... Maybe because they don't have Delirium, I can just plus on here. I'm probably not attack. If they had Delirium, then I would just minus, because this would die to Unholy Heat anyway. I guess Prismatic Ending is a card that they could be playing. But maybe they just play Jegantha here, and that would be great. I just binding it. Yeah, this is perfect. That is perfect. Well, now what? I plus... I think I plus. I think I plus on Boseiju, and I swing for 3. And I just put... Oh, this has Vigilance! Oh, that's sick. Oh, I totally forgot about that. I wasn't even aware that that was a thing. This gives it Vigilance? I guess I should have read the card before, before I did anything, huh? Reading the card explains the card. Also, this makes elementals would get buffed by Kahira. Dude, like the synergies just don't stop. What a masterpiece of a deck. What a masterpiece of a deck. What a masterpiece of a deck. Swing for 4, baby. Look at that. Wear Tear. Well, that's devastating. That is devastating. Didn't even get to tap it for mana. Play that out. Play Shadow Spear. I guess I get to Prismatic Ending this next turn thanks to Wrenn and Wrenn, which is kind of cute. But yeah, Wear Tear obviously devastating there. Do I chump? I think I may have chump. Yeah, I probably have to chump. Oh, they have Breach. Does that mean I'm dead? It probably means that I'm dead. Yeah, they just bolt this, they bolt this. Yeah, that means... yeah, this deck is really strong. That deck is really, really strong. Oh, maybe they'll consider here instead of bolting the Wrenn. Maybe cracking the Soul Guide was a problem. Although my opponent would have been able to just like Wear Tear the Soul Guide anyway, right? So it wouldn't really have mattered. So that wouldn't have changed anything. So here my opponent's playing around Leyline by doing this instead of just like bolting the Realm Breaker. So now they get to consider if they want to. Although I guess if I do crack the Soul Guide, my opponent only has a Wear Tear in the graveyard, so... Yeah, that was pretty good for my opponent. Can I draw an Ursa Saga? If I draw a Saga, maybe I have a shot here. That's not an Ursa Saga. So let's kill that and play this. And I guess I'm gonna have to... I guess I can't crack Flagstone. Blaststone, I'm one mana away. Dashed Monkey's gonna bury me here. Take 7, man. If I had found Saga there, maybe we could have had a shot. Oh yeah, that just like the one that got exiled to the monkey, of course. That one right there would have been pretty good. So I may have to blow up my own Shadow Spear, which is obviously terrible. We find a land. Perfect. All right, off it. That match was rough. That matchup was rough. Last round. This hand is actually very interesting. I think I want to keep it. I don't have double green, but I have a pretty healthy amount of fetch lands to draw into. And if we go get Ketria Triumph, we should be able to cast Leyline Binding on turn 2 if we want to. Or we can just, like, you know, go Soul Guide or Shadow Spear or something like that. So I think this hand is okay. Obviously, we're missing something to do with this Shadow Spear. Opponent I move to 6. Let's see what we're up against. Overgrown Tomb. Thoughtseize. Choose your poison, opponent. I assume they're going to take the Wrenn, unless they have another discard spell. They take Binding. So we take Ketria here, then tap. It's a good draw. I'm going to go ahead and call that one a good draw. I'm going to have infinite Aganjos now. It's pretty cool. Opponent plays Heath and Fetch. Ooh, Sacred Foundry. Okay, opponent having fun as well. Maybe they're playing Tribal Zoo, Domain Zoo, however you want to call it. Yep, Tribal Flames. So let's just find the basic forest, and I'm just going to play Wrenn here. And I think we just plus on the... I guess this is up to 1, so I probably should have plussed on nothing. Not that it matters too much. Alright, so after thinking some, opponent finally decides to go with Savai Triumph into Tarmogoyf. So there are a couple of things I can do here. I think I want to go Windswept Heath, play Soul Guide. I'm going to exile my own Leyline Binding, I think. And now we can plus on my land, and I'm gonna pass the... I guess I can attack. The attack is free. If opponent blocks, I just get to Aganjo. I mean, they know about the Aganjo, so they're probably not gonna block, but it's a free attack for me. Opponent correctly does not block. The alternative would have been to just, like, play this. But the problem is, like, the Tarmogoyf is gonna be a 3-4 regardless, because this is gonna count itself, so we're gonna have... If I crack Soul Guide, I'm going to have Wrenn land the Soul Guide itself. But this is nice because it means my opponent can't actually grow the Goyf. And the reason why I exile my Leyline instead of the Wrenn is because if they do answer the Wrenn, that's 2 Planeswalkers, which doesn't grow the Goif. Leyline Binding. So now we want to draw Boseiju? Death Shadow. Okay, do like that. That's fun. Do like me some Death Shadow. So fetch an end step, get Jegantha, and tap. Another land is not great. Most definitely not great. I think we just pass back. Opponent knows that they can't attack with the Goif at least. If they have a way to grow the Shadow, they can attack with Shadow. But so what we can do is on end step we can cycle Sokensan. Channel, I guess. Channel Sokensan. It is kind of nice that we're just keeping the Goif. So we're gonna take 6 here. Okay. Don't love that. Don't love. We played against so many matchups where Engineer Explosives is great, which is pretty funny. Let's go to Forest. We're gonna channel Sokensan. 2 1/1s. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Do we want to Kahira in hand? So the options are to Kahira. The other option is to suit up one of these tokens. I think I want to suit up one of the tokens. It's bad if they have removal, but now at least I'm playing around Thoughtseize pretty effectively. Huh. Interesting. Interesting attack. So I guess my opponent is just trying to cash in. Block there, block there. And we're gonna Ganjo the guy. That's gonna grow the Goif. It's kind of fine. Also, I messed that up. I should have waited until the spirit actually did the damage, and then I cycle. I'll just double Tribal Flames. Oh, they have 1 card left in hand. Okay, okay. So now, now we make a dude, and we suit it up with Shadow Spear. And we pass the turn back. I can make the Goif into a 3/4 because I have Land Enchantment Artifact. Dashed Monkey is kind of... So we're taking 8. We go to 1. This is still the best play for me, right? This is the play that actually allows me to potentially win this game. So I have to block Goif with Construct. Cracks. Oh no, but that actually makes the Construct smaller, so that doesn't work. If I block here, I take 10, so I have to like chomp the Shadow. I guess I block Construct on Goif, go to damage, lose my Construct, but the Goif has 4 damage on it, and I just exile Soul Guide afterwards. Go to 1, lose to Bot, lose to Tribal Flames, lose to the Wrenn and 6 that my opponent is going to flip off of the Monkey. Alright, Verdant Catacombs. Now we just pop the Soul Guide, kills the Tarmogoyf. Now we untap, make a dude, and obviously... we find this Ruin Orb that we were about to fetch. Oh no. Get the map. Play Orb. Stubborn denial my Ruin Orb? No! Gross. Gross. Alright, we're just gonna go find another Ursa Saga. Hanging by a thread. Hanging by a freaking thread. We can't even Blast Zone here. Alright. And now if they dash Monkey, we chomp Shadow. We take 2, we gain 3, we go up to 4. We go up to 2, sorry. That means we get to fetch, which could matter. No, just Tribal Flames. That's you're no fun, opponent. Just winning the game. Just winning the game instead of grinding it out. Alright, I think Endurances are probably worth it. I think Last Boseiju is probably worth it. Blast Zone seems great. A Ganjo seems like it's gonna be pretty bad fairly often. I can take out Otawara. Seems like way too mana inefficient. Tribal Flame seems like it could be good. 1 Soul Guide's fine, probably don't want the other ones. What else? My removal seems great. I think I kind of want to cut a Realm Breaker. The Wrenns that are not on 6 seem a little bit inefficient. Maybe a couple of bolts. Maybe all 3 bolts. Bolt kills Monkey, but Tribal Flames kills the Kavu and it kills the other guy, the Tarmogoyf, so I think I care more about those. Alright, game number 2. Keep this hand, looks pretty great. So I want to go for Ketria Triumph. Jegantha is also something that could work. Depends on whether I think I'm gonna be using more white or red mana. I think I'm gonna be using more white. Fetch land. Sacred Foundry means they can't hurt my hand. So let's go for Jegantha. Just get to Prismatic Ending this thing. I guess I'm gonna play Fetch Land. Okay. So, am I interested in doing Kahira? End step Fetch for Ketria. It's not bad. Not half bad. So that's something that I can just play proactively and kind of hides my hand. If they bolt here, that's really good for me. Oh, Leyline Binding. Okay, I'm gonna play a land because I can just... Oh, I can just Leyline this now and get another Wrenn activation. That's value. Alright, I'll do that. I'll do that. Just draw 2. No big deal. And we also get to play around Stubborn Denial that way, which is nice. Tribal Flames is gonna take the Wrenn down. Last one is interesting. I think I want to Kahira this turn, playing Sacred Foundry out. The problem is if I don't put Kahira in hand, like I'm just telegraphing the Endurance a little bit too much, and I don't think that I want to be casting it the Endurance. Because even if they play a Go, it's like what are they gonna do, right? We do get punished if they have like a Wrenn 6 or something of their own, but I really doubt that's the 4 mana is really scary. Invasion of Ikoria. Alright. Okay, so what's the CMC of this thing? I think it's 0, right? I'm pretty sure the CMC of this is just 0. I'm gonna Google it real quick. So Google search says that the CMC of this is 2. So I guess we're just gonna be doing that then. Play that out. Obviously, I'm just not gonna randomly take 8. So let's pass the turn. Good to know that they're playing like this Vampire Hexmage combo, so I know that I cannot play explosives preemptively because the Vampire Hexmage can just blank my explosives. Alright, cool. It worked. It worked. It's kind of cool. It's basically like a 4 mana 8/8. Or if you can actually, you know, go after it, you can just, you know, clock it with Shadow or whatever. It's pretty cool. Also explains why they're not playing Jegantha, right? So I think what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to fetch to find like an ETB tapped land, and then I'm gonna play out Blast Zone, but I'm not gonna crack it immediately because I may want to just Endurance. We can just Endurance, put everything back from my opponent's graveyard, and then just block it, unless they play a fetch land, in which case obviously I'm going to just Blast Zone instead. That's a good one. That's a nice little insurance, because now if they do have Leyline Binding as an answer to the Endurance, I can just Binding it. Alright, no Shockland was played, so now we're just gonna cast Endurance. It's also nice that Stubborn Denial doesn't stop this. Do I just want to target myself here? No, I don't think so, because if I draw a Wrenn, I want to get back my lands. I'd like to block there, please and thank you. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, now we should be good to go, I would say. For 4. Pass the turn. I think Binding can actually mess up my opponent's combo, like the battle combo, because they use Hexmage, they target it, and then I just Binding the thing, and it just goes back. And then even if they destroy the Binding, they get the battle back, but they actually don't get anything from it. Alright, here we go. I guess we're gonna get to do it, we're gonna get to see it in action. So we let that go. We wait for them to get the Hexmage, and now that they target, or they don't do anything. Okay, play a land. Okay, so I'm just going to Endurance now. I think I do want to target myself, because if I find Wrenn, I'm just gonna minus on the Hexmage here. The problem with this line is that it does play into Stubborn Denial. Although at that point I can just like Leyline Binding the 8/8. So it's kind of the same thing. Another Blast Zone. I mean, we just attack with everything here. They get to block the Kahira? Huh, or block there. Okay. Removal counters. Sure. But you're taking 7. Yeah. You're still taking lethal, so yeah, okay, cool. Awesome. So game number 3. Yeah, this looks better, I think. I still think I like my sideboarding. I don't think they have enough enchantments to want Force of Vigor. And Wrenn, this seems like the weakest of these 3 Wrenns, so... Alright, this seems like a nice little aggressive hand. So this hand may struggle against specifically turn 1 Monkey, but it's really solid otherwise. And it has answers to everything, which is great. Opponent moves to 6. Blood Crypt. Please no Monkey. That's a Monkey. Prismatic Ending. Unlucky. Yep. I'm just gonna get K-Trade Triumph, I guess. So now we actually have the potential of falling pretty far behind with this Monkey, particularly if my opponent finds a Stubborn Denial. Opponent swings. There's a possibility that they just exile K-Trade Triumph here, which would suck, but... So nothing of relevance was lost. But I do think I'm interested in just Wrenn minusing. Obviously, Stubborn Denial is just an absolute beating, but I don't think there's too much I can do about that. K-Trade Triumph, play my land, play Wrenn minus. Here we go. Also, they breeding pool tapped there, meaning that Shadow is now a worse draw for them. Not sure I like that. Well, so they're going for their little combo thingy. So we can just Leyline Binding that and just move on, which is nice. It's also a very clean answer, which I like. So I guess I can force the issue, or I can just do nothing. I think I'm supposed to force the issue. So that resolves. We still have a Wrenn here, which is very nice. Now we're gonna play a fetch. Fetch for Jegantha, main phase. Play around Stubborn now. Send it back. We still have a Wrenn. Thought Seized. Imagine it's gonna take the binding. Because now the line my opponent's got available, I guess, but I mean they're getting back their battle. They're not actually taking back their 8/8. So we're kind of chilling here. Yeah, that's fine. You can now get a 0-drop. Whatever they play I can kill. And I still have my Wrenn and 6 cooking here. Actually I have lethal over 2 turns. I'm not gonna play around. I'm not gonna play into stub though. But like now they're kind of dead because they didn't thought it's the Tribal Flames. That's funny. So let's yeah, I think I just plus, and I'm just gonna get Kahira. So what I don't want to happen is like I just get a little bit careless, right? And I just grow, like I Tribal Flames now, and I grow my opponent's shadow. Then my opponent, like their shadow is now enabled. Now they can stubborn denial my Tribal Flames, and now all of a sudden my opponent has a clock on me, and I'm just losing an otherwise unlosable game. So there's just no reason for me to do anything. We can just chill here, just take it very slow, and kind of just win at our leisure. I do feel like I'm really far ahead here. So I just have to make sure that I don't get destroyed by something random. But I can just lethal them next turn. Like they have to deal with this random Kahira, right? Also, I tapped like garbage. Yeah, they just concede. All right. 2 and 3, we managed to salvage 50 PPs. Cool, so 2 and 3, not the best record. One thing that I thought was very interesting is we're playing a 33 land deck, but our mana requirements are super steep, and our cards are kind of by definition requiring for us to just be able to achieve the domain very, very quickly and very reliably. So even though we are playing a bunch of lands, I feel like this deck is maybe a little bit over, what's the word I'm looking for? Getting a little bit overconfident about how easy it is for us to get going. Like multiple times throughout this league, we were in situations where we just did not have a fetch land, and then like our deck just kind of didn't function. Like, and we were one fetch land away from just like turning things around, right? But that jet fetch land never showed up, and it just was not. It was just not good, right? Like we were not able to recover from the tempo loss. So I do think that even though these cards are pretty cute, right? Like all of the, like they do stuff. I do think that maybe the Otawara and even potentially the Eiganjo, maybe they're like overstaying their welcome, you know what I'm saying? And maybe this should just be like 2 more fetch lands so that we have 12 fetches, which is, by the way, what the Omnath decks are doing, right? Like all of the 4-color Omnath, now Nissa decks are all playing like 11 or 12, maybe even 13 fetch lands, mostly because they really need them to get their engine going. And we are kind of in a similar space. So even though, sure, we have access to Wrenn and 6, like you don't always draw the Wrenn, right? You don't always draw the necessary pieces. So I do think that finding like maybe 1 or 2 more fetch lands could go a long way in helping with this deck's consistency. Besides that, and Realmbreaker was kind of okay. Like I wasn't super impressed by it. Like it did some cool stuff, and obviously, you know, like the elemental synergy with Kahira is really cute and that kind of stuff. But I was not super impressed by it. Like the fact that the -2 doesn't allow you to get stuff from your graveyard. Like it actually only gets it out of the 3 cards that you mill. It's kind of a big deal. Like that is the difference that turns this into, you know, just not that good as opposed to being a modern staple probably. So I don't think that this card is that great. Funnily enough, Wrenn and 7 felt a little bit more impactful than the Realmbreaker, even though this card did do some work. Like specifically the mana fixing aspect did come up a couple of times as well. But obviously, like this is just the big one, right? Like Wrenn 6 is just kind of messed up, and just like Wrenn 6 plus Saga is a hell of an engine. The Blast Zones were kind of meh as well. Like I was not impressed by them, and this is something that also happened with my like Naya Lands deck. Like it's kind of the same thing. Where like you have very steep mana requirements, so you can only play so many colorless lands, and then like Blast Zones more often than not ends up blowing up your own stuff as well. So it's kind of a little bit awkward. I do wonder if it would be better to just like main deck engineer explosives or something like that. That would make things a little bit faster. Obviously, recurrent Blast Zone with Wrenn can be pretty busted in certain matchups, particularly stuff like Hammer, but yeah, that's gonna be it for this. Thank you so much, Tabsman, for the dono. That was actually a lot of fun. I had a really good time playing it. Needs like a little bit more tuning, but I like what it's doing. And obviously, it's gonna have some matchups like we played against Tron, and we were kind of helpless, right? Like you're just praying that you're gonna find your Boseiju plus Wrenn 6 combo. The same thing with it's probably true versus Amulet, but that's probably even worse than Tron. So you probably have like a couple of matchups that are pretty rough. But this felt like a solid starting point, even though it's probably not the final form of this deck. So it would be interesting to try out things like Explore and things like that. So keep that in mind as you try to iterate on it. That's going to be it for me today, though. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.